everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Two-Face action figure. This action figure was released with a series completely of Batman the Animated Series figures. They experienced some enhanced articulation and slightly taller than the previous releases, which is great in my book. So let's go and check out the packaging here. As you can see, Batman the Animated Series, this is the 45th figure in the line. Two-Face, here he is in the package. It looks like he has 3 additional hands, totaling 5 alternate hands. Got some dynamite, a Tommy gun, and a little Two-Face coin. Good luck not losing that. Honestly, his face looks great. Side here, not much going on. Batman Animated Series Two-Face. Other side, nothing. Bottom, really nothing. Back side here, so we got Batman Animated Series logo. There is a barcode if anyone needs it. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And I did get 2 of these figures, one to open and one to keep unopened. Here he is taking his rightful place with my other Batman and related figures in front of my Batman and related comics. You can see the next wave of the animated figures, this wave, and some previous animated figures above. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. Like I said before, he does have a Tommy gun, some dynamite, 3 additional hands, totaling 5 interchangeable hands, and a Two-Face coin. But before we look at the actual accessories, let's check out the figure. Now, they've already released a Two-Face from the new Batman Adventures, and this Two-Face looks a whole lot better. I really like the way he looked in Batman the Animated Series. Harvey Dent, Two-Face, just looking great. The only thing that I kind of didn't like super a lot was the green on his face. But this is just a staple of the way he looks. Hair wavy, lip huge and exaggerated, one giant eye. I would love it if they would give us a plain Harvey Dent figure. That would be great. Love his black and white suit, alternating on both sides. But then to add further detail, the shirt is alternating, the tie is alternating. Just looks great. This guy here has double jointed knees. First time this wave is doing that. Overall, the figure looks to be a home run. And then here he is, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. So next, let's go ahead and check out his accessories, starting off with his hands. So first of all, here he is with his fisted hands. And then here he is with his trigger finger hand on his right hand. This will allow him to hold his Tommy gun. And his left hand here is a large gripping hand. I believe this will allow him to hold the dynamite. And here he is with his third left hand. This is a semi-open gripping hand. Will allow him to hold a smaller weapon, perhaps support the Tommy gun. Did find it kind of odd that he had 3 left hands and 2 right hands. Next, let's check out his coin. This thing is super small. If you drop this in the carpet, you will never find it again. Really not something his hands can hold very well either. The detail on it, it's okay, not that sharp. I don't think my camera will ever focus on it. One side kind of shows a generic shape of figure. Another side has sort of an X through it. I don't know if you can see that at all. That's sort of the good side. And then the bad side. Next, let's check out his Tommy gun. It's definitely nice to get a Tommy gun for your action figures. And I love the sort of old school vibe that Gotham villains had in Batman the Animated Series. This thing here is kind of soft. The way it looks, it's all one color. Beyond that, it's pretty cool, but like the drum inside of it, just no detail whatsoever. And here's his Tommy gun, next to a bunch of different Tommy guns from my action figure collection. And here he is holding his Tommy gun. I must say the trigger finger doesn't really fit to the trigger the way I'd like it to. He's able to hold the butt of the gun under his arm though. He can hold it with one hand. or he can hold it with two hands like so. Next, let's check out this guy's dynamite. Whole bunch of different sticks of dynamite sort of taped together. It looks like we got the fuse on top there. And here's his dynamite next to a couple of other pieces of dynamite I have for my action figure collection. Here he is holding his dynamite. Like I suspected, his larger gripping hand is perfect for this. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at his accessories, next let's check out the height of this figure. So from bottom to top, this guy's sitting at about 6.25 inches. It's about 15.5 centimeters. Next, let's check out this guy's articulation. So this guy here is a part of this new wave that features increased articulation on these figures, which is great. Start with his head here, can turn around from side to side, can look down about that far, up about that far, which isn't too bad. Shoulders go out about this far, even 90 degrees. There's a ball joint side of there, and go up, down, around, all that fun stuff. Single jointed elbows, but the way they've designed this, it can go in more than 90 degrees, which is pretty cool. There's a swivel above there as well. His wrists can rotate around, and they're hinged on top of that. He's got nothing going on here in the middle. There is some kind of waist swivel, but you can barely use it because of his soft goods jacket on top there. His legs go out about that far, a little disappointing. They're obstructed by his jacket here. You can see ball joint on the inside, and his legs can move independently of the ball joint, but it doesn't give you a whole lot of extra articulation. He's got double jointed knees, go all the way back in. Then his foot here, it can kind of tilt, rotate a little bit, and then it can go up and down as well. Next, let's check him out compared to some other action figures. Here he is next to the rest of the figures from this wave of Batman animated series. And here he is next to the next wave of figures DC Collectibles released for their animated line. Next, let's check him out compared with some other Two-Face figures. Here he is next to the new Batman Adventures Two-Face. I must say, I like the design of the Batman the Animated Series Two-Face better, and I really like the fact that this figure is a little bit taller than the other one. And here he is next to all the different DC Direct and DC Collectibles Two-Face figures that I have. From left to right, we've got Batman Reborn Two-Face in his bat suit as he was trying to take over for Batman. Then we've got the Secret Files Two-Face, then the new Batman Adventures Two-Face, then the Batman the Animated Series Two-Face, then the Arkham City Two-Face, and then the Capullo New 52 Two-Face. Here he is next to all the different Mattel Two-Face figures that I have. From left to right, we've got the Gotham Rogues 5-pack DC Universe Classics Two-Face. Then we've got the Mattel Arkham City Two-Face. And then we've got the Mattel Multiverse Rebirth Two-Face. And in the center we've got the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Two-Face. Next is the Batman Missions Two-Face. Then the Power Attack Two-Face. Then the Mattel Movie Masters Dark Knight Two-Face. And then we've got the 5-inch basic figure Dark Knight Two-Face. Here he is next to a Mafex Dark Knight Two-Face. Here he is next to an old Kenner Two-Face from Batman Forever as played by Tommy Lee Jones. And then here he is next to all the different Two-Face figures I have in my action figure collection. Here he is next to all the different Harvey Dent figures that I have from left to right. We've got Mafex Harvey Dent, DC Collectibles Two-Face in the center, then Mattel Movie Masters Harvey Dent, and then Mattel Dark Knight 5-inch basic line Harvey Dent. Here he is with a custom of both Rupert Thorne and Candace from Batman the Animated Series. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but Rupert Thorne was a crime boss that was antagonizing Harvey Dent, and Candace was his secretary. Both of them played a pretty big role in turning him into Two-Face. These figures are a little bit larger than him, as they are intended to work with my DC Universe Classics and possibly my DC Direct figures. Here he is with a bunch of other figures that seem to have suffered similar fates as him, that have destroyed part of their faces. So first of all, we have an engineer from the end of the film Prometheus when he was battle damaged. Then we've got a character from The Walking Dead with half his face scarred. Then of course there's Two-Face. Then we've got Darkman with half his face destroyed. Then we've got the Hardak Batman with half his face ripped off. And then here's this Two-Face on my Two-Face shelf. As you can see, a ton of duality here. Got Two-Face in the middle, the background there, half brick, half wood. Got two Marvel Legends figures, White Queen and Black Queen, using as substitutes for Sugar and Spice, two of his girlfriends. We've got one flag intact, one flag burned. We've got one giant chocolate coin frontwards, one backwards. Even his table is half dark, half light. A ton of accessories on here. Bunch of different Two-Face weapons, money, a flag. A couple double-barrel shotguns there. Two-Face always liked using double-barrel shotguns in the comics. Bunch of different Two-Face coins. Here we've got a light mirror, a dark mirror, light chair in front of it, dark chair in front of it. Kind of crazy darker chair in the back, darker table with a scarred coin on it, a different kind of chair in the back, a white table with a non-scarred coin on it, Two-Face and his duality. And I like using these twin henchmen from the Matrix film as a couple of Two-Face henchmen. Definitely meets the theme. Then here he is next to the Batman the Animated Series Bat Family. Here he is next to the new Batman Adventures Bat Family. And here he is next to the McFarlane DC Multiverse 7-inch scale Batman the Animated Series Batman. And here he is next to all the different rogues they've made from Batman the Animated Series so far, not including the ones they've made from the new Batman Adventures. Next, let's check them out compared with some other various action figure lines from different companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Here he is with some of his DC Direct and DC Collectibles brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figures from various DC Direct and DC Collectibles lines. Then, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. And now, next to some McFarlane toys. And then, next to some NECA figures. And now, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. Then, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. And here, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And now, next to some Mafex figures. And here he is, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. Here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And then, next to some Jazzwares figures. So overall, this is definitely a solid figure. I like him a lot. I really like the way he looks, as I prefer the Batman the Animated Series designs to the new Batman Adventures. I really like this Wave's enhanced articulation and slightly taller figures. They fit in with the rest of my collection better than the previous DC Collectibles animated figures. If I were to rate this figure, I'd give him a 7.5 out of 10. I'm definitely enjoying him more than I expected to. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.